What a performance! What a victory!
It's finally here. Formula One in 2024.
The wait is over in Bahrain, and we are just hearing that the starting grid is on the look for a new driver. Who will it be?
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting shit.
And radio is good.
Here we go.
The Grand Prix is underway.
What a dramatic start. Can you believe it?
I feel like they're gonna bleed.
Yes!
Spun out of my
Oh, he's lost it.
Half out, guys. That's it.
The pit lane's going to be alive now. They're all in.
on my own. Here we go. Mindset on overdrive. On my own. Here we go.
It's not every day that we get to see such incredible wheel-to-wheel racing.
Out of the final corner.
And here's our winner today!
Can you beat me?
Yes! What a race. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to the fans.
Welcome in everybody to round number 9 of 10 of Prowler Racing Season 5. Tonight we are in the Great Isle of the United Kingdom at Silverstone, classic military base turned into a racetrack. This track has 2 DRS zones that are going to be key areas for everyone taking overtakes tonight. Right now, we're looking at the Discord, make sure everyone is good to go. Those 18 corners. Very little elevation change. Let's get over into the intermission screen while we're waiting for the lobby to get ready to go. Give the word to everybody in the lobby. Let's go. Good luck. Have fun. So for tonight, we're looking at our teams. We're at round 9 of 10 tonight. Our teams, Mercedes out in front, 279 to Red Bull, 222. Aston Martin in third with 161. Racing Bulls, 113. Haas, 92. McLaren moving up with 87. The Sauber, 82. Williams dropping down with 81. Ferrari moving up, 67, with Alpine dropping down with 51. Team score is brought to you by our drivers. Our championship leader, Zoluxi, 188 out in front of Vanilla, 179 to BRT Yuki, not here tonight, 95. Sasuke, the other Mercedes, 91. Oscar tonight looking to score some points, 84, up one position to P5. Rasha not here, dropping down with 77. Truth also not here, 72. Dynamic joining us late, has little technical difficulties with his new setup, sitting at 62 points. Our reservist Some Good Salt sitting at 50. Pug Life not here tonight, dropping down P10. That is your top 10 for season 5. Let's head on down to the track. Looks like we got a little bit of overcast. Not a surprise being in the UK. Head down to the track, get this ready to rock and roll, see who comes out of the pit lane first. Mind you, for tonight, it is a sprint format. So we got sprint qualifying first off. Everybody gonna be setting their setups for the conditions. Don't know if we can actually look at the weather yet. Yeah. Okay, so it's clear. That's gonna be the weather. Oh. Maybe not. Let's see what it says now. Yeah, overcast. That's more like it. All right, let's get the game graphics out of the way. We need the map. Get rid of that. We're going to get rid of the other stuff, and we'll go with our in-game graphics. So, let's see here. Yep, we're keeping an eye on who exits the pit lane first to show us around the track. Tonight, we have 10 drivers, so it's going to be Oprah points for both the sprint and the race as we qualify the top 10 score points in the sprint, and then in our regular Grand Prix it is the top 12. So everyone, if they finish the race tonight or finish within the top 90% of the race, they will score points. So here we go. We're waiting for the first car to go out. Nobody making a move yet. Oh, first car out. Looks like it is going to be the Ferrari of Ao. It's good to see him back in the league. He took a hiatus for a while, but he is with us tonight, reserving in for Pancake in the Ferrari. No, that was Yes. I'm sorry, that was JC. That was Yes JC coming out. Ao we're on board with right now. So the first car out was actually Yes JC. My apologies to that, but we're still excited to have Ao back. Wow, the game's a little lagged out here. Let's get to the actual 2 more. Vanilla. Yes JC, there we go. Yes JC, our normal full-time driver. 10 minutes left to go in the sprint qualifying. It is a shorter session compared to the 18 minutes they'll get in normal qualifying. These overcast conditions, I don't believe the track's wet. Everyone is out on a dry tire. So we'll see how everyone can handle going out there. Still, we have Oscar, Zoluxi, Boogie, and Salt still in the pit lane. Salt more than likely going to stay in there, as he likes to do the challenge of starting from the back. And he proved me wrong. I can see his little dot moving on the map. Going to be exiting the pit lane momentarily. But right now, we're on board with Yes JC as he's making his way around to the final corners. And he will be setting us off on our first timed lap. It looks like Sasuke is coming up fast behind him. We're going to stick with Yes JC as he was the first one to head out. Going to give us a lap time around Silverstone. Heading down to the right-hander village. Round loop onto through turn 5. To one of our DRS straights. Down to Brooklyn's long left-hander. Ooh, getting very upset there as he's exiting out. He does have the Mercedes coming up behind, and it looks like he bails out of it. He slowed right down. So we're actually going to go check out Sasuke. Oh, getting very out of shape there. His teammate ahead, Zeluxi, is not on a timed lap, but Sasuke is. Zeluxi getting out of his way to allow her teammate to set a time. Giving him a little bit of a tow heading into the S's. Going through Chapel onto straightaway. Purpling that middle sector. Vanilla playing down the fastest first sector so far. Nobody yet setting a time. Sasuke will be our first across the line. Round 17 and 18. Cross the line, sets us a 128.136. Let's head on down to next car will be. Let's go check out Vanilla. Vanilla coming around the final corner. Fastest first sector. Personal best in the middle and sets a fast time. 127.515. For your sprint qualifying. Right now it looks like Zeluxi setting fastest first sector. Right behind her teammate, getting a little bit of a tow, heading down to the secondary paddock there. Zipping past. That is great teamwork as Sasuke gets out of the way as Boogie sets a fast time, 127.474. Boogie coming out of nowhere there. That's awesome to see. Our reservist pipping that top spot. Salt on the mediums goes faster, 127.423. But Zeluxi also on the mediums, fastest first and second sector. Heavy braking into turn 16 into 17, 18 across the line. Zeluxi 126.614 sets your fastest time of the qualifying session. So far, only 2 drivers have not set a time, Oscar and Yes JC. Everyone's coming into the pits. Let's take a look. Everyone that's on a timed lap right now is not improving their time, so they're more than likely coming in. As you can see, Zeluxi invalidating her lap there on her in lap. Looks like one of the Ferraris getting out of the way. Looks like there's a call out from one of the Haas's towards a kick for an incident. We'll see what they say in the chat. Let's take a look. Who's actually Vanilla? Personal best. Oh, and yep, he's still on track. Personal best in the first sector. 27.595 in the first sector. Just only about 700ths off of Zeluxi's fastest first sector. And Hayden retires from the session. Vanilla personal best, second sector. Coming down through Stowe. Continues to do this lap, does not come to the pits. He is up on his personal best time on the mediums, mind you. I think he did the last one on the softs. P2, 127.103. That's Vanilla for P2. We'll actually head back down to Yes JC as he is looking to set his timed lap now. Following in the wake of Sasuke. Sasuke far enough ahead. Not going to be a real issue. Yes JC. Not far off the fastest first sector. He had a 27.581. The fastest is Deluxy with a 27.526. Personal best again, a 35.528. About a 10th off of Deluxy's time. So this will improve Yes JC's starting position as he finally gets a lap in. Coming down to Vale. Through club and across the line. Yes JC goes third fastest, 127.119. That's a great qualifying result for Yes JC. So it looks like Oscar finally out on track. This might be his outlap. Yes, he's not setting a time, so it's his outlap. So again, Deluxy, your fastest time, 126.614. We'll actually go with, as we're on here with Oscar, instead of doing lap time, let's check out what the telemetry is for Oscar as he tackles his timed lap to get himself up in the top 3 at least. Flat out through the first corner. Heavy braking down to 3. Back on the accelerator. A little bit of a half brake there. Continuing on, full throttle onto the straightaway. DRS wide open. Vanilla retiring from the session. He feels that P2 is going to be good enough. Oscar does a 27.619. So he's about a 10th off his Luxy's time so far. Full throttle through that whole section. Finally gets off the gas a little bit, heading onto the straightaway. Just a touch of brake going through the middle. Sets the fastest middle sector at 35.430. So only a 10th off in the first sector. Fastest middle sector. Let's see who can do it in the third and final sector as he's coming across. Cross line, Oscar nails it. 126.595 for the fastest lap for our sprint qualifying. While this is going on, Deluxy currently out. We got 9 seconds left. I don't think she's going the other way. Let's see. She is on a flyer. Fastest first sector. She's going to try to get it back. Let's keep an eye on how she handles this lap. Salt improving on his time as well. Invalidates, just as I said that. Salt set a personal best first sector, but invalidated the rest of the lap. Deluxy coming through across the timing beam. She is up. 0.6 seconds so far, setting the fastest first and second sector. She is on pace to get that pole position back from Oscar. Through the final corners here. Cross line 125.777. It's going to be your fastest lap and pole position so far. For the sprint, Oscar's in the pits. Salt finishes his lap. SJC is in the pits as well. I don't think there's anybody else really on a timed lap right now. Sasuke cross the line P3, 127.033. Looks like the only other car that's on track right now is Brick. And he comes into the pits. So that is going to do it for qualifying tonight. For the sprint, Ziluxi out in front. Setting up our grid for tonight for the sprint race. Ziluxi, Oscar, Sasuke, Vanilla. Unfortunately, getting bumped down to P4. Yes, JC, 5th. Some Good Salt, 6th. Boogie, P7. Hayden, P8. Brick, P9 with AO in 10th. Let's get a screenshot of that real quick before we go back to our intermission screen. So Vanilla set his time on a medium, and so did Salt. So that's interesting. So there you go. So doesn't show the times. Interesting, we had a glitch there, but Ziluxi with fastest time 125.777. So there's no pit stops in a sprint. So since there's really no strategy other than picking your tires that you're going to start the race on and finish on, we're going to give them a shorter amount of time to get themselves ready. About 3 minutes. So in case anybody needs to do a break, go use the restroom, whatever, they've got some time to do that. But we'll keep an eye on the screen here as we're waiting. See if I can get the grid graphic to come up. Oh, there we go. Somebody read it up too soon. All right, lights are on. 5 lights. 5 lights out, and we are away. For our sprint here, Ziluxi staying out in front. Just barely in front of Oscar as Oscar goes to the inside. Heading down to Village. Ooh, a bunch of people going wide there. Oscar having to go wide at 4. Trying to keep the pace going. Unfortunate. Ziluxi out in front on the medium. So tire choices tonight. Got Ziluxi, both Mercedes, the Ferrari of Yes JC and Boogie electing for the mediums for this sprint, trying to save those softs for the actual Grand Prix, because whatever tires they use for these sessions are not going to be available to them for the Grand Prix later on. Looks like we got the Haas of Hayden off in the back there. Still rolling, thankfully. Does have front wing damage and floor damage. So does Salt. Salt has front wing damage, so it looks like they may have gotten together. But as it stands right now, Zeluxi leading us away with Oscar right on her tail. Oscar with the soft tire advantage. We'll see how that plays out. Zeluxi setting us off the fastest lap so far to get us, get her the extra point. Hayden unfortunately speeding into the pit lane, trying to get that wing changed out, but and retires from the session. He feels it's not worth going on, because if you have to change out that front wing in a sprint, you're going to fall so far back, it's not even worth it. Unfortunately, though, that does mean because he didn't finish I think it's 95% of the race, he will not score that final point that is awarded during the sprints. Oscar right on the tail of Zeluxi, heading down two cops before we get into the S's here. Ao with a corner cut warning. So far, yes, JC, Brick, Ao, and Salt all have warnings for corner cuts. Hopefully this is not an example of what will happen for the Grand Prix. Oscar around the outside, gets the lead through Stowe. Now leading us away. Let's head down to the next pack of three. We got Sasuke, Vanilla right on the gearbox of Sasuke. Vanilla with the tire advantage right now on Sasuke in front. And against Yes JC behind. See if we come through the next DRS zone, see if Vanilla can do a move here. Wing wide open. Yes JC, think about two. Sasuke trying to break that DRS. Vanilla stays behind as we head through Luffield. Correction, goes to the inside, tries to make the move happen, doesn't. Tucks right back in behind. As we chase Sasuke into the S's through Maggots and Beckett's. And Chapel leading us onto the straight. Vanilla going to the inside. Zeluxi, your new race leader. Vanilla up to P3, getting past the medium tires of Sasuke in the Mercedes. Vanilla now pulling away from Sasuke. Well, yes, JC is right on the gearbox of Sasuke. Let's go back just a little bit further. Let's check out what's going on with Boogie. 4/10 back from some good Salt. Boogie dropping down the order, it looks like. Let's take a look at the gain loss so far. We're on lap 4 of 9. Remember, this is a sprint, so it's a very short race to begin with. Vanilla up 1 position, Ao up 2, Boogie breaking even so far, and Salt also breaking even. But Salt did drop back early on with that contact, I believe, with Hayden. Salt does have 40% damage to that right front. Ao with damage to the left front of his Ferrari. So let's see if Boogie can capitalize on that damage, but Boogie unfortunately is on the medium, so he's gonna be struggling to catch some good Salt. Oscar, your new leader, the battle of DRS happening further up. Let's go check that out momentarily. Let's see if Boogie goes for a move here on his teammate. Both these guys are reserves for Alpine, looking to score some healthy points. Move does not happen there, so let's head back up to the front. 5 laps left to go. Oscar leading us away. through farm into village. Luxie will have DRS advantage here as we head on to the straightaway. That rear wing opening up. Oscar going towards the inside, trying to break that DRS, inviting Zeluxi to take the inside, but she chooses not to. As they now head around the right-hander of Luffield. Vanilla pushing hard, only 2 seconds back behind this front group, fighting it out. Oh, tough break for Zeluxi. She had to take avoiding action. Couldn't make it through that corner there. Falls back now 3/10. So that momentum she had early on is gone. Four laps left to go. Oscar leading us away, followed by Zeluxi, Vanilla, Sasuke, Yes JC, Some Good Salt, Boogie, Brick, and then Ayo. Heavy braking for Oscar. Mind you, Oscar is on the sauce. Let's take a look at what their wear is so far on this very short race. Oscar's fronts are at 21% to Zeluxi's 10%. That is the wear difference so far between the softs and the mediums. But Oscar's punishing his softs compared to Vanilla's softs are only sitting at 18 and 19, whereas Oscar's sitting at 22 and 17. So that fight that he's been having with Zeluxi for the lead, unfortunately, is cooking those soft tires. May hit grading phase. Unlikely, but it is possible. If he does hit that grading phase, which happens usually around like 30% or so, you'll start losing grip. He'll come back eventually, but we're only on lap 6 of 9. Zeluxi going to the inside, retakes the lead with that DRS assist. Down through Stowe. She's going to be looking to try to build a gap, because those mediums are going to last her a little bit longer. I mean, all the tires have to last to the end of the race because they're not doing pit stops, but those softs are going to degrade faster and faster. And as you can see, Vanilla now 2.5 back from this lead group, and he was only 2 seconds before, so he's suffering a little bit from that tire wear as well. But Oscar staying within half a second. That half a second is going to feel like an eternity, even with DRS wide open here on the straightaway, chasing Zeluxi down into 6 and 7. Can't make it happen. The Alpines of Salt and Boogie staying pretty close together, not challenging too much. Yes, JC staying behind Sasuke so far. This is your closest battle on track so far. Let's see what Oscar can do, but those tires are absolutely screaming. 28% in the front, 22 in the rear. Whereas Zeluxi sitting at 14 and 17. She's just absolutely cruising on those mediums. Some Good Salt, 3-second forward corner cutting. That unfortunately will drop him back behind his teammate for tonight, Boogie. Zeluxi out in front so far. Lap 8 of 9. Six-tenths back, too far back to make any moves here off of DRS, but closes it down to 3/10. So far, everyone maintaining position for the most part. Nobody really overtaking. Making the moves. Yes, JC got really close to Sasuke. Couldn't capitalize on it though. Used all the battery. Yes, JC down to 11% on his battery. Sasuke sitting at about 25. So Sasuke keeping out in front on the mediums. Salt with another warning. Oscar DRS close enough behind. Doesn't make the move there. He's going to save it for the last lap. He wants to make Zeluxy sweat. Worry about where that overtake is going to happen. He doesn't want to give up the DRS advantage just yet. We are on the final lap of our sprint race here at Silverstone. Zeluxy leading away, Oscar, followed by Vanilla, Sasuke, Yes JC, Some Good Salt, Boogie, Brick, and AO. Right now, Oscar about 4/10 back. Not close enough to make a move here, but we'll use DRS to stay right on the gearbox of Zeluxy as we head around left field. Oscar's tires are screaming 35% on the front. He's going to be losing grip. Half a second back. He needs to get a lot closer before we head through Cops into the S's. Only 4/10 back. Just under 4/10, but it's bouncing back and forth. He needs to keep it as close as possible. DRS wide open. 6/10 back, lost time. Zeluxy pulling on him. He is too far back to make the move now. It is all over for Oscar to try to take it back. He should have had it last lap, but waited to this lap. And the tires weren't there with him to make it happen, which allows Zeluxy here to be your winner of the sprint here at Silverstone, followed by Oscar, Vanilla P3, Sasuke P4, Yes JC P5. Some Good Salt coming around with a 3-second penalty, cross the line, dropping back behind Boogie. Then we've got AO and Brick battling it out as they come around the final corner here. AO ahead, finish with Brick. Your driver of the day for the sprint is going to be Zeluxy. Masterclass of a drive during that sprint. So let's get a screenshot of that real quick. That's one I want. Screenshot that one. So that does it for the sprint. We're going to head on over to the pit lane while everyone gets ready for qualifying for the Grand Prix. So we're heading into the pit lane. Everyone getting set up for qualifying for the Grand Prix. Skies are looking a lot sunnier this time around, so it should be good. So let's head down to the track. Actually, real quick, before I head to the track, here's a reminder. We're on round 9 of 10. Tonight we're at Silverstone for our sprint, but next week, the last final round for Season 5 in Japan should be a banger of a race. And then after that, we're going to take a long extended break to allow everyone to try out the new game, F1 25. So that when we get Season 6 up and running, everyone will have a great time getting ready for that. So let's head down to the track, waiting for people to head out. Let's get rid of this stupid in-game graphics. Looks like we got a Red Bull coming down. Ooh, and the kick gets out in front. Brick getting out ahead of Vanilla. Let's see if they actually maintain that as we head out onto the track. Yep, let's watch Brick, see if he backs out of it. Yep, and as expected, Vanilla did zip on by past Brick. Brick deciding to go out on the mediums, whereas most of the other drivers, Zeluxi included, electing for the softs as we head out. Let's take a look at what the forecast is for this session. Light clouds, storm. Ooh, are we gonna have a wet race? Let me check the chat. We got light clouds now through qualifying. At the end of qualifying, it's supposed to switch to a storm, which typically the game will carry on that weather. So I had some good salt. I asked if it's going to be a wet race, and he said should be heavy rain. So we might have a really interesting. Okay, so Vanilla on his timed lap, which we should give you his actual time as we head through down the straightaway, down to turn 6, setting a 27.504. Mind you, the qualifying time for the sprint was a 125.777 set by Zeluxi. Let's see if they can beat that for this session. That's going to be the goal for a lot of these drivers. So far, Vanilla setting the fastest first sector. Correction, Zeluxi setting the fastest first sector. Vanilla 35.477 through the middle sector. Vanilla will be setting the fastest time across the line in this session. We're keeping a close eye on the times for Zeluxi. Cross the line 126.551. So not quite the fast time from sprint qualifying. But Zeluxi only a personal best in the middle sector. 2/10 faster in the first sector. Only 2. It's going to be close. She might have it. Over the line. No, P2 with a 126.559. 8 thousandths of a second slower than Vanilla on similar tires. So that'll be interesting to see what happens later on. Let's go check out the other Mercedes of Sasuke. Cross the line. P3 with a 127.135. Next car that's going to be setting a time is going to be SJC. Personal best in the first sector, 27.544. May have a weather update. Rain might not happen right away. So It might be a dry race. We'll see once we get to the grid. But right now, we're in qualifying. 12 minutes left to go in the session. Currently, Vanilla Spilla out in front, 126.551. Setting the fastest second and third sectors. Yes, JC up to third with a 127.130. Currently, AO, some good salt in the Hayden on outlaps. So let's go check out. I don't think Saskay's going. No, Saskay's coming into the pits, so he's not going for another lap. He's on an in lap, so he's not going to be setting times. Luxy out on track. She's setting a time. Does not have full battery, but still trying to set it. Still, she is recharging though. Saying her rate around 60%. So she might be just doing another warm-up lap to get the battery recharged. Oh nope, it's deploying. She's down to 45% now. Not sure what Luxy's doing here. Maybe getting just a feel for conditions. But she's more than likely going to come in for a pit. She is deploying 20%. Fastest middle sector? Hold on. Okay, so she was down 300ths in the first sector. Sets the fastest middle sector. She might be going for a time lap. Here, yeah, she goes past the pit entry. Let's see what she can do. If she can upset Vanilla. She can. 126.146. Getting that fastest lap in. Putting her stamp of authority on this qualifying session so far. AO, fastest, or personal best in the first sector. AO coming down to the final corners. Some good salt, fastest third sector. AO across the line. Moves up one position, 128.478 for P6 start so far. We've got 9 minutes left in the qualifying session. Yes, JC, personal best, first and second sector. Coming around the final course, looking to improve on his time. Battery almost gone. P4 with 126.926. So far, Oscar has not set a time, sitting in the pits. Hayden also in the pits, not setting a time. And Boogie currently out on track. I believe he's on an outlap. Or is this a time? He is deploying, so I'm assuming it is a time lap. Okay, so Boogie. Personal best, 27.895 through the first sector. Vanilla fastest first sector with 27.346. We're going to hang here with Boogie, see how he can do. Setting a time, has not set a time yet. Hayden invalidates, I think, his outlap. So we'll keep an eye on that. Vanilla personal best middle sector. So he is improving. We got yellow flag. It's a Ferrari. Further back. Boogie coming around, turn 15. Cross the line. Boogie up to P6 with 127.321. Vanilla, unfortunately, did not improve enough. Invalidates. I believe he's on his in lap. So invalidating on your in lap's not a big deal. So as it sits right now, Hayden's on his out lap. Where is he? Around the final course. Let's go on with Hayden. Give him a little bit of screen time. He invalidated far enough away on the track. Oh, man, he went through the gravel. Car's dirty. And down turn number 1. Deploying that battery. Might be going the route of a dimpled golf ball, getting a little bit more aerodynamics with the dirty car. Heavy lock up there as he's heading through turn 5 onto the straightaway. DRS wide open. At this point, Hayden's looking just to set a time. Through the first sector, 27.750. About 4/10 off of our fastest first sector. Vanilla invalidating again. That's when he was going to the pits. So right now, Hayden, our only car out on tracks. He has a clear, wide open track. See what he can do as he's coming through the S's of Maggots and Beckett's. Through Chapel onto, oh, it was getting sideways. Oh, that's a tough break for Hayden. See if he heads into the pits or if he's finishing this lap to at least set a time. And he goes into the pits. So Hayden aborts that very unfortunate. I think that might have been commentator curse, honestly. But Hayden still has to set a time. So does Oscar. Oscar has not set a time yet. I don't even think he's even got out onto the track. But right now, the only car out on track with 5 minutes left to go is Yes JC. As you can see there, our fastest sectors. Vanilla, fastest first sector, 27.346. Zaluxy, middle sector, 35.303. And sector 3, Some Good Salt, 23.327. It's very cool to see that there are faster sectors for different drivers and not one driver's dominating the qualifying session so far. Zaluxy out in front only by 0.3. A good joke from our season 3 champion, Some Good Salt. Better to find out how the radar or the weather predictions work with 2 weeks left in the game. That's a very fair point. So SJC deploying his battery, coming through. As Yes JC is doing his lap, let's get a little bit of circuit information. 18 corners, drivers on full throttle about 70% of the lap. Your fast top speed is going to be about 208 miles per hour or 334 kilometers per hour. 208 freedom units miles per hour. Downforce about medium, tire wear also medium. So it's going to be, we did see earlier on with the sprint, those softs degrading quite quickly after only 9 laps. So it should be interesting to see what everyone goes for this time. Oscar is out on track behind AO. Currently on an out lap. Just under 3 minutes left to go. We are here with Yes JC as he's rounding the final corner across the line. P4 126.926. Let's head down to Oscar. So Oscar and Hayden on outlaps. Oscar is going to be coming across the line first. He does have AO ahead of him, so we'll see if that will cause an issue. Exiting the S's, leaving a pretty sizable gap to AO. So he's not running in dirty air, so we'll keep an eye on that. If he will close in. 2 minutes left to go. The pit lane is emptying out. Everyone is out onto the track once again to set themselves some times. So we are now going to watch Oscar do one of his final laps. One hand only lap, I should say, has yet to set a time. Heading down turn 3. A little bit of heavy braking entering there. Now through the loop. Onto the straightaway. DRS wide open. Trying to gain some speed. Currently a 10th down on our fastest first sector. Vanilla setting the fastest first sector on his outlet. Interesting. Oscar coming through the world famous Meggetts, Beckett's, and Chapel corners. The S's setting a personal best second sector. Only 0.03 of a second slower than our fastest. So this is going to move Oscar right up to the front. Don't think it's going to be the fastest, but it's going to be up there. Cross the line. P2 for Oscar, 126.363. As the qualifying session wraps down, let's go take a look at Vanilla. Personal best, middle sector, fastest first sector. Coming down through Stowe, down the hill to the start finish. Through 16 and 17. Around the final corner, let's see if he can pip. Zaluxy cannot do it. 126.271. That puts Vanilla in P2. Let's go check out our other drivers. Zaluxy, slow middle sector, but our first sector, but fastest middle sector. Let's see what you can do here. Sasuke improves as well up to P5, 126.875. Zaluxy cross the line. 126.146 is going to be her fastest time, which is the fastest time of the session. Not as fast as sprint qualifying. Sprint qualifying was 125.777. Let's see who else is. AO is our last running car. It hasn't. And they come into the pits. Unfortunately, you can see there Hayden coming to the pits as well. AO cut the grass to get to the pits for no apparent reason. The session is over. Hayden unfortunately could not set a time, invalidated on his attempt around the track. But your fastest lap and your pole setter for the qualifying session for tonight, Zaluxy. No extra points awarded for pole. And I know some drivers will be thankful for that because Zaluxy has been just dominating with pole positions. So right now I think we're just waiting on AO to finalize, or Hayden to finalize as they're in the pits. There we go. So Zaluxy, your pole setter with a 126.146. Vanilla, followed by Oscars, Some Good Salt, Sasuke, Yes JC, Boogie, Brick, AO, and Hayden. Let's get a screenshot of this real quick. We'll head back to the pit lane. Allow everyone to get themselves set up. Let's see what we got. What time is it? Okay, reminder to everyone in the lobby, do not ready up. Let everyone get their strategy, especially... Oh, look at the rain coming down. Woo, it's going to be a wet race. This was going to be fun to watch. So... So this will throw a wrench in things. So what drivers can do is they can adjust their front wings to get more downforce for these wet conditions. But they can't really make any other changes. So we'll see who actually set up their car during qualifying for a wet race. I don't think it'll transition. We'll have to check the weather once we get started. But I don't think we're going to... I don't know if we'll see a transition. We'll have to wait to see what the weather forecast says, but as it stands right now, you can even see puddles in the pit lane. So we're just letting everyone get their strategy set. So what happens now is you want to have more downforce, more grip. You're going to be starting on the wet tires more than likely. DRS will not be a factor. Tire strategy may also not be a factor because when it's wet conditions like this, the tire regulation for two dry compounds goes out the window. So we may see drivers go full race, full wet. Some drivers may go intermediate, or it may transition from wet to intermediate, or just intermediate to intermediate. We'll see. So there's a whole gambit of all different kinds of things that can happen tonight in these conditions. Reminds me of a time when Lando Norris's engineer goes, "How are the conditions out there?" Or what? So we're getting everyone. Yep. The Discord is pretty much just making jokes about how wet it's going to be out on track. So it should be very interesting to see what happens. So yeah, we're just waiting. We're letting everyone figure out what their strategy is going to be, because it's going to be a mess. And we're all for it. We love to see this kind of stuff. Yep. Cockpits are filling up with wire. I'm just waiting until we hit the I may have given a little bit too much time for the fit strategies. So I gave them the we'll go at 3 after, which would give them like 5 minutes, which should be enough. And okay, gave the go ahead for everybody is ready up. So we're going. Let's get ready for this session. It's going to be a wet one. It's going to be crazy. We'll see a lot of carnage for sure. Keep your eyes peeled as we head down to turn number 1. Keep the camera on. Vanilla, lights are out. We are underway in these very wet conditions. Look at that spray. You can't see anything. Heading down to turn number 1. Zoluxi out front. A lot of cars going wide there. Vanilla staying right with. Only 2 drivers electing for the intermediates. It's both Alpines of Some Good Salt and Boogie. Oscar right on the tail of Vanilla. Zoluxi doing her best to run away with it. Let's check the weather forecast as we are now underway. It is storming the whole race, so this will be a wet race throughout the entire session. So we're going to keep an eye on everyone's damages and tire pressures. Oh, Dynamic joined us. Looks like he couldn't stay. He did say he had an issue with his GPU. So it looks like he wasn't able to join us in time for qualifying. As we're on the track, we're on lap 1 still. Zoluxi leading us away in these very wet conditions. It's hard to see anything out there. Zoluxi leading by almost half a second. She gets a warning for track limits, which I think will happen quite often here. We'll keep an eye on the game. Game saying possible race strategies, wet to wet, you don't say. We'll see if Some Good Salt and Boogie come into the pits. They gambled on the intermediates and they are staying out on the intermediates. So far, props to all of our drivers for keeping it clean. We're not seeing any damages across the screen. Again, weather is predicting storm 5 minutes out, 10 minutes out, still storming. So it's going to be heavy rain the entire session. Vanilla doing his best to defend against Oscar. Right now, there's no tire advantage in any of the drivers. So the biggest thing is down to chassis setup in these conditions. Everyone's doing their best to just stay on the track between the white lines. So far, everyone's doing really good with that, except for Zoluxi and Brick, both having warnings each. So let's take a look back. Vanilla dropping about 1.1 back to Zoluxi out in front. The spray is making it very impossible to see anything. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Oh, Vanilla going wide. Rejoins the track right in front of Oscar. Oscar right on the gearbox here. Getting sideways there for Vanilla as we head down to turn number 1. Normally in dry conditions, drivers would be taking this flat out, but you can see the throttle getting lifted there through turn 1. They are hydroplaning like crazy. Oscar not letting Vanilla go. Trying to take advantage of little whoopsie daisy there with Vanilla. Remember, there is no DRS in these wet conditions. So even though we saw the distance counter go, he's not not able to activate it. Oh, it goes for the over-under. Gets onto the inside. Let's see if he can apply the power. Not lose it. Nah, I can't get it done. Vanilla stays out in front of Oscar. With that spray, it is very hard to see the cars down there, and this weather is not helpful from a camera view like that. So let's go check out who's next big. Oh, we got close battle right here. Salt. Why did it jump so far? Salt, that's the one I want. Salt chasing down the Mercedes of Sasuke. Salt trying to do the advantage of being on the intermediates. So far, the wear of the tires is relatively even. So now it's just to see if Salt does have more grip. Really hard to say. So Salt is faster in Sasuke in the first sector, but not faster in the other two. So overall, Salt is slower on the intermediates. AO is faster. With Salt right on that rear gearbox. So far, it's a little bit less wear, less tire wear on the intermediates. Let's see what the actual tire wear looks like. So yeah, 12 to 14 laps for the intermediate drivers, which is the two Alpines, Some Good Salt and Boogie. The wets are looking about 10 to 12 laps. Ooh, getting very wide there. Salt getting a warning. He's up to 2 now. All while this is happening, Zoluxi out in front, 2.3 seconds. That is the advantage of being out in front. You do not have the spray of the cars in front. This onboard from Some Good Salt is a little deceptive because you can see pretty well. But we all know, from those of us who have played this game, the view is not that clear most of the time. But if we head up to Zoluxi, there we go. Clear track out in front of her, so now she just has to manage her tires and keep the track clear in front of her. She's got a long way to go. We only have 10 runners tonight. So it's going to take a while for her to try to lap it. We're on lap 5 of 26. So we're actually cruising right along so far. Let's head back down to Some Good Salt as he is our closest battle so far. I want this one. There we go. Look at that. Some Good Salt on the inside of Sasuke. He's coming down to turn 6. He backs out of it. Thinks better of trying to make a move there. But all while, gets right past onto the back of YesJC. See what he can do as they're exiting Luffield. It might be a slight advantage of the intermediate. We'll find out long term. I don't think the conditions really, it'd be a toss-up. Like if you want to be on the intermediates to get that possible more grip, but how wet conditions are right now, I don't foresee it being that much advantageous. But at the same time, I'm seeing a lot of wet drivers having a really difficult time keeping it on track. You can see the racing line appearing there, but that will not fully dry out. YesJC trying to give Salt a hard time as we're heading down the 15. Look at all those NPCs in the crowd enjoying this wet weather. On the inside, tries Salt, but puts him on the outside here. Around 17 and 18, close battle. Salt gets a 3-second penalty there for crossing the line. Unfortunately, that penalty will stand more than likely because of the fact that he had 2 warnings earlier on. Knowing that conditions are the way they are, he still went for the overtake. Was in a really precarious situation no fault of anyone else except himself to put himself out there. So I do not think that that penalty, if it gets reviewed, will be removed. With some good salt, up to P4. Let's take a look at what the game loss is so far for everybody. And we're breaking even all the way down to P8. AO, one position up to Brick. So right now, nobody has gained or lost a position except for those in the back. Now we got Sasuke and YesJC battling it out, and they are swapping positions. YesJC going super wide there, getting a warning for that as well. So far, only one driver keeping it clean, and that is Boogie, who is renowned throughout the season to keep racing clean. Barely gets any penalties or warnings for that matter. So it'll be really good to see what he can do in these conditions to maintain what's going on. So we got Zeluxi on front, 2.3 seconds. Sasuke looking to battle here. Back and forth. Zeluxi sets another fastest lap. Vanilla takes it back, 141, 405. Sasuke dropping back into the spray from YesJC. Oh, while that's happening, some good salt getting the pole a gap of almost 2 seconds on YesJC. But right now, he is contending, as you can see, these 3-second time penalty. So right now, he needs to build that gap another second to maintain P4. And if he catches the drivers up in front, he's going to have to fight past them and build gaps on them as well. We'll have to keep an eye on it because there are a few other drivers that are at risk for penalties because of the amount of warnings that they have. So right now, let's head up to the front with our leader, Zeluxi, pulling out our race story just to take a look. As we know, she was our pole setter, starting P1, currently P1. On the wets, 2 warnings. That's where she's at right now. Then we got Vanilla Spilla, started second, in second still, on the wets as well. A little bit more wear than Zeluxi. Sitting about 2.1 seconds back from our leader. Next up, we got Oscar, started third, in third. So our top 3 right now. Safety car. Oh, looks like it's Hayden. Hayden into the wall, losing his whole front wing. So he's going to have a struggle bus trying to get it back to the pits to get that wing swapped out. So as you can see, because of the safety car, from 4th position down, they are pitting. And actually, a lot of them are switching to the intermediates. Strong choice there. So we got some good salt going from intermediate to intermediate. YesJC from wet to intermediate. And Sasuke from wet to intermediate as well. And where the safety car came out, the top 3 didn't look like they had time to even come into the pits. So we'll take a look here and watch the swiftness of, oh, and Hayden retired from the session. We were going to look at a front wing change here in the pits, but he has decided to retire the car, not scoring points tonight, unfortunately, because it would have been top 12. We only had 10 runners. He would have scored points regardless. But it's understandable, being in the UK, his race time is like 1 a.m. or so. So I cannot blame him at all for wanting to just throw in the towel. He retires in the pits as he is instructed to do if he wants to retire. So let's go through the race story again. Zeluxi, your leader, started first, in first. Then we got Vanilla, and Oscar. Then we got Salt up to P4, started 4th, in 4th, has pitted now. Switching from intermediates to intermediates, but he also does have that outstanding 3-second penalty, as you can see. So he's going to be contending that through the rest of the session. We're on lap 8 of 26. Next up, we got Yes JC up 1 position, started 6th in 5th, started on the wets, now on intermediates. 1 warning to his name. Then we got the other Mercedes of Sasuke. Started wets on the intermediates. 2 warnings to his name, so he's going to have to keep it clean the rest of the race. Started 5th, now in 5th. Did somebody pit? Oscar pitted. Oscar pits to the wets. Decided to pit from the wets to the wets. So he's going opposite strategy of everybody else. Boogie came into the pits, started 7th, now in 6th due to that pit stop of Oscar. Went intermediate to intermediate. Oscar wet to wet. We got AO, who he's deploying battery. What is he doing? Does he have it set for hot? Hope not. He is deploying though. You're on safety car, let that sucker recharge. But anyways, AO did pit as well, went from wet to wet. So he's one of the drivers that gambled from wet to wet, or didn't really, nobody's really gambling. Everybody's kind of up in the air right now. It's really down to driver comfort and ability. I don't think AO knows he's deploying. Put in chat just to remind him. And it's disabled. Okay, now he's recharging. All right, so then we got Brick pitted from wet to intermediate. Started 8th, now in 9th. So he's catching up the rest of the field. You can see him back there in the spray. Gotta love this pixely rain. So right now we're going to stick with Vanilla as safety cars in this lap. Lexi going to slow the field down. Safety car is in the pit now, is down 2. And we are back to racing. Vanilla already almost half a second back. Keeping it pretty much in line. Let's see if anybody in the intermediates can start making some inroads here on the front here. Looks like Some Good Salt right on the back of Vanilla. See if he makes a move heading down to Brooklands. Doesn't make it there. And to left field. This is a terrible camera angle from the helicopter. You can't see anything in that spray. I love that pixelated rain. Actually see what's going on. Salt up to P3 from the restart because Oscar took a pit stop. Oscar's already up to P5. Some Good Salt hunting down Vanilla. Right now this may very well be down to those intermediate tires compared to the very warm wet. Oh, contact made. I don't think Some Good Salt could slow it down. Not sure if he got rear-ended either, but here we go through the main straight. Lap 11 of 26. Zoluxi out in front, 140, 133. So that's your fastest lap. For that extra point. Game, it looks like for Some Good Salt, this intermediate should take him to the rest of the race. Look what it says for Vanilla. It's saying the same thing. So keep a close eye on this as Some Good Salt hunting down Vanilla right on the gearbox there as we're heading over to turn number 9. High speed through. Vanilla going wide there. Heading through the S's now. So Luxie getting a little wide there, a little sideways drift action. See a racing line starting to form. Game is still saying it is storming out and will be storming. Some Good Salt makes the move on the inside up to P2 on the intermediates. Oh, big move there from the Ferrari of Yes JC. Couldn't get it done in time. Made contact with Vanilla. Vanilla does have wing damage now. But only just a little bit, like 6%, I think it says. So we got Oscar, who decided to pit for the wets. Right on the backside of Yes JC. Yes JC is struggling to get going. See if Oscar can make a move here. Mind you, Oscar is on the wets. So it might just be down to driverability with these guys because the intermediates are going to allow Yes JC to defend against the hard charging Oscar on the wets. Oscar looking to cool off those tires. So right now, the only two that have not pitted, and they don't need to because of the wet conditions, Vanilla and Zaluxy. Zaluxy sitting at about 22% on her rear tires. Vanilla sitting about 23, so they're about even on wear. But Zaluxy soon is going to have to be defending against Some Good Salt, who's actually right on her, going for the lead. Some Good Salt, your new leader. We caught it just at the end there. So now it's all up to Some Good Salt to build a 3-second gap to Zaluxy. Zaluxy with 3 seconds as well, so they are racing head to head. Now all Vanilla has to do is just stay within 3 seconds of the leader, and he will inherit P1. Tough break. Well, Some Good Salt says a fast slap 139.499. Almost a second gap now. Back to Zaluxy. So let's go take a look at the closest battle on track right now. It's going to be Oscar hunting down Yes JC. The rest of the field is spreading out. You can see the dots there on the map. You can see between them, so you know the gaps are getting bigger. Right now, Oscar, ooh, getting very wide there, getting a warning for that as well. See, it's a tough call between going intermediates or wet because the wets, they do displace a lot more water, but the problem is when the track starts to dry out, those big chunks of rubber that are used to diffuse the water, they now get a little squiggly and warm. Actually, let's take a look at what the... Where is the car info? All right, so his temperatures are sitting pretty good right now, so he's not overheating the tires. 10% salt, another fastest lap. Gap already up to 2 seconds. Vanilla 1.5 behind Zaluxy, so he will inherit P2 if he can just stay with her. The Salt doing everything he can to pull away. Oscar still can't get that gap down close enough to make a move. But again, this is the closest battle on track. Why the game loves these helicopter shots, I don't know. We're gonna go on the halo with Oscar here. Oh, very sideways there. Vanilla catching up to Zeluxy. Zeluxy falling off massively. Might be down to tire wear, we don't know. But Vanilla right there. Doesn't make a move yet. Zeluxy dives into the pits. Let's take a look at what she does. Salt setting another fastest lap. He is currently 5.5 seconds out, so he is safe for P1. Zeluxy coming to the pits, switching to the intermediates. Unfortunately, this will drop her back pretty far down the order. Did not get to take advantage of the safety car early on. Pit lane delta sitting about 33 seconds. So that's how much you will lose if you pit during green flag conditions. And this now drops Zeluxy out into P9. So she's got about 10 laps to try to make up for lost time, plus deal with the 3-second time penalty, which she will inherit at or serve at the end of the race. So let's go check out up front. Some good salt sitting at 6.8 seconds out in front. Absolutely pulling away on these intermediates, which was the right call, looks like, from early on. Remind you, Salt and Boogie were the only two cars that were on intermediates to start the race. Then they took advantage of the safety car to switch to another set of intermediates. Looks like we had a Ferrari go off, causing a yellow flag, but we're back. Starting lap 16. Oscar is up to P3, hunting down Vanilla right now. Vanilla with 32% on his rear tires. Take a look at what the tire wear is. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, Vanilla 20 and 33. Still with 10 laps left to go. I don't think he's going to be able to finish this race. Yes, JC with 3 seconds of corner cuts. So right now, that's going to drop him down to P5. Vanilla getting a warning for going wide there. Not a surprise. But he is drifting through these corners. You can see the racing line is drying out quite a bit. Oscar behind him. Also on the wets, but much younger. Sitting about half the wear that Vanilla is sitting at. Don't know if Vanilla's going to risk it to come in to switch to the intermediates to try to make up lost time. Zeluxy's already up to P7, drop back to P9. Making her way back through the field. She sets a fastest first sector, 30.806. I'll keep an eye on Vanilla here. See if he pits this lap. Probably won't. We'll see. He does not. He stays out on those very worn, wet tires. So right now, out in front by 9.5 seconds. Some good salt. Your leader with fastest lap. Followed by Vanilla. And Oscar, who is not far behind. Oh, Ayo is in the pits. See what he switches to. See if he's going to also come on to the intermediates. Off goes the wets, goes on the green sidewall intermediates. 2.3 second stop. That was a decent stop in these conditions. So he will be exiting the pit soon. But he does drop all the way to the back of the running order. So let's see, Zalexi with that 3-second penalty, currently in 7th. 7.4 seconds back to Boogie. See Boogie just going through turn 9 now. Zalexi coming up to it. Let's see what her gap ahead. So she is faster than Boogie, but not a whole lot. So the game is predicting Zalexi will be striking in 4 laps time, which will be at lap 22, but then she'll still have 4 more laps after that to finish the race. So I don't think Zalexi's going to be making up a whole lot of positions unless something happens and inherits. But let's head on up to Oscar, who's 1.2 seconds back. Closest battle on track right now, 1.1 seconds. That's got to be there. Battle for second place. Striking distance, 136 laps. I don't think that's right. So we'll just go with this one. Closing in on Vanilla just a little bit. Mind you, Vanilla sitting at 40% on his rear tires. Still roughly about half. Either one of these guys pit. It's going to be a head-to-head battle as neither one of Vanilla or Oscar have time penalties. Right now, Some Good Salt out in front by 12 seconds. So his 3-second penalty means absolutely nothing. Sasuke picks up a 3-second time penalty as he is chasing down JC, but right now we're keeping our eyes on Oscar fighting with Vanilla, both on very worn wet tires. The only 2 wet tires out on track. Everyone else switching to the intermediates. Zalexi picking up the fastest lap time, 1:38. Vanilla with another, with 3 seconds, not another, with 3 seconds, going wide there. So right now, Oscar is going to inherit this position. If they finish where they're at now, Oscar will inherit this position, but knowing Oscar, he's going to want to overtake on track and build a gap. As it stands right now, Vanilla will lose P2 to Oscar, but maintain P3 as JC is 4 seconds behind this pair right here. Vanilla getting very wide and out of shape. Those tires so gone. Both drivers taking to the wet part of the track to cool the tires down and make them last a little bit longer. Side by side through turn 15. Oscar gets ahead to P2. Now Oscar has a gap of 13 seconds. Make that 10 seconds to Some Good Salt. As Salt does have 3 seconds of time penalties. So Oscar needs to get within 10.6 to win the race. But we're on lap 20 of 26. Don't think he's going to be able to do it in time. Zalexi with the fastest lap, 1:38.418. Picking up that extra point. Setting fastest first, second, and third sectors. So as we sit, your leader, Some Good Salt, out in front by 13.8 seconds with a 3-second time penalty. It'll be added to his time at the end of the race, but he is sitting nowhere near a risk. Safety car. Looks like we lost somebody. Yes, JC, the Ferrari is out. Not sure if he retired in the pits. Oh no, he's got front wing damage, 100% front wing damage. So he crashed out. So we're down 2 more cars. We're under safety car. Let's see. Now Sasuke is super close. He's only 5 seconds back to Vanilla. Let's see if, oh, our leader, Some Good Salt, comes in for a new set of intermediates, more than likely. So it makes sense. Everyone should be coming in. See if anyone stays out. Oscar into the pits. Out of the fast lane, they're changing his tires out for the intermediates. So everyone's switching to intermediates. So while we're under safety car, let's take a look at what our race has been so far. It has been a wet race the entire time. Let's take a look here. So Zaluxy stayed out to regain as many positions as possible. So Some Good Salt started P4, now in first. Zaluxy started first, now in second. She is on 7-lap-old intermediates. But we only have about 5 laps left to go, so that shouldn't matter as much. But she also has 3 seconds time penalties. Let's actually pull that up real quick. Outstanding penalties. So our leader, Some Good Salt, 3 seconds. Zaluxy, 7-lap-old intermediates, does also have 3 seconds to contend with. Oscar, who just pitted for brand new intermediates, started third, in third, has no time penalty. So he is going to be doing everything he can to keep both first and second place within 3 seconds to inherit the win. Then you have Vanilla in P4. Started second, dropped down the fourth now, has 3 seconds of time penalties, is on a brand new set of intermediates. Then we've got Sasuke breaking even, started fifth, now in fifth, also has 3-second time penalty on a brand new set of intermediate tires. Then we've got the classic no penalty driver, Boogie, P6, started 7th, in 6th now, also pitted for a brand new set of intermediate tires, does not have any time penalties, keeping it clean as he always does. Then we got AO, our other reservist. He's on 5-lap-old intermediates, did not pit, still deploying his ERS to catch the field up. Let's see, hopefully he'll stop doing that. But started 9th up to 7th was a great result so far. And we got Brick keeping it clean during the race as well. Started 8th, currently in 8th, just breaking even, which is great. Keeping it clean as well. Brand new set of intermediates. Then we have our 2 non-finishers. Yes, JC with 100% wing damage there on his 13-lap-old intermediates, and Hayden retiring out as well. So we're under safety car. Lap 22 of 26. We'll go with, we're gonna put the camera on Zaluxy because we want to see what she will do when we get back under racing momentarily. I believe when AO catches up and Brick catches up, we may have one more lap of safety car. We will see. So we're coming through the S's here at Silverstone. And this is round 9 of 10, season 5 of Prowler Racing League. Looks like we got most of the field caught up. Rick, the only one still making his ways on the main straight. I don't think the safety car will come in this lap. Nope, it'll go one more lap. Which the safety car is going to be a bit of a saving grace for those who didn't pit. Let's take a look at what the tire wear is. So Luxie's rear is only sitting at 10%. So this actually, this could go anyway, truly. Because that little bit of wear that she has isn't going to mean anything in 3 laps time. So again, our penalty holders: Salt, Zaluxi, Vanilla, and Sasuke. So Oscar's got all to do to keep those leaders out in front within 3 seconds to inherit the win. Or knowing Oscar, he's just going to push as hard as he can and win it outright. But we will see. Take a look at what everyone's fastest lap times are. Zaluxi, your fastest. 138, 418. About 5/10 faster than Salt's. 2 seconds faster than 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 3 seconds faster than 6th and 7th. And about 5 seconds faster than P8. Bit of a shuffle there. I don't know what happened with them. Gotta keep it clean. Double check our weather real quick. I'm pretty sure it still, yep, still says storms. So that's not going to change in the next few laps. Everyone's on more or less fresh intermediates except for Zaluxi and Ao. Safety car is in this lap. Your leader, Some Good Salt, back in the field up. Keeping everybody nice and close and tight. Hopefully nobody's trying to make any moves in the back or courting anybody. We're going to keep the camera here on your championship leader, Zaluxi, as she waits for Some Good Salt to start going. And it is Salt's prerogative when he wants to start. And there he goes. We're back under racing lap 24 of 26 here at Silverstone under very wet conditions. Zaluxi defending against Oscar. Oscar sticks it in there. Side by side onto the straightaway. Oscar gets ahead just a bit. All while Vanilla not letting him go. Side by side through turn 6. Zaluxi on the outside, now on the inside. While this battle is happening, you've got Vanilla in the back, waiting for something to happen. The gap to the leader is 2.4 seconds, another 0.6 seconds. Some Good Salt is going to secure the win. Zaluxi, unfortunately, will drop back, possibly losing out for down to 4th. Keep a close eye here on Oscar. Salt setting the 1st and 2nd sector ablaze. fastest lap, 137.604. Some good salt showing why he was the champion of Season 3. Zeluxi defending against Oscar, showing why she was a champion of Season 4. And the current leader of Season 5 of the Prowler Racing League. Oscar not letting what happened in the sprint happen again. He's going to have to make the move sooner rather than later. Won't happen here, but he will try it on the, I believe that's the hanger straight after the S's. I was getting mixed up. Anyways. He's got to keep it close. He's not going to have advantage to DRS. He does have younger tires. Does not have the amount of battery, though. Right now, Zeluxi sitting at 77% to 25 on Oscar. Oscar making the move in the S's. Wow. Great overtake from Oscar up to P2. 3.5 seconds to Salt. He just needs to close that down, but Zeluxi's not letting him get away. Zeluxi around the outside. Oscar again, the P2. We have started the final lap. Some good salt out in front, 4.2 seconds. That puts him clear of a 3-second time penalty. Now it's down to Oscar and Zeluxi. Oscar is going to secure P2. Zeluxi has a 3-second penalty, but she is currently 3.3 seconds ahead of her teammate, who also has a 3-second penalty. So actually, P3, 4, and 5 racing straight up as it were right now. But Oscar basically securing P2 against Zeluxi. There goes your leader, Some Good Salt. Zeluxi and Oscar battling it out. Vanilla getting past Sasuke up to P4. Sasuke taking it back. Vanilla with another 3-second time penalty. He's up to 6 now. That is going to drop him significantly to the back of the field. Right now, the gap behind is 2.1 plus AO plus Brick. I think that's actually going to be Vanilla's race over. So he can race Sasuke all he wants, but Vanilla, unfortunately, is going to be losing out. 2, 3, 2. Actually, maybe we'll get 7th. Well, let's head back up to the front. Your leader, Some Good Salt, around the final corners in the rain. Cross the line, Some Good Salt. 5.7 back. You got Oscar defending against Zeluxi. Sasuke and Vanilla across the line. But because of penalties, Vanilla's going to drop back. And that is everybody. So your finishing running order is Some Good Salt, Oscar, Zeluxi, Boogie, Sasuke, AO, Vanilla down to P7 with his time penalty. Some Good Salt driver of the day, not a surprise there. Then you got Brick, P8. And your non-finishers, yes, JC and Hayden. There you go with raising the trophy up. Some Good Salt. Once celebrations are done, we'll get our screenshots we need. But that will do it for round 9 of Prowler Racing League. Your winners, Some Good Salt, Oscar, Zeluxi, Sasuke, Boogie, Vanilla, AO. Yes, Jason. Oh, that's the total. Hold on. That's not right. That's what I want right there. Some Good Salt, Oscar, Zeluxi, Boogie, Sasuke, AO, Vanilla, Brick. Yes, JC and Hayden. Take a screenshot. Good. Okay. So here we go. Let's take a look at our calendar. We're going into our last round of season 5 next week in Japan, and it's the last race in F1 24, and we'll be taking a break to go to season 6 and F1 25. But for us tonight, this was Silverstone, your winner, some good salt of the main race. Thanks everyone for coming out. We will see you guys next week in Japan. See ya.